yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we're live on the YouTubes. And we're about to be live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook Live. Hello, YouTube Live. I am Dan Salem, at the Dan Salem on Twitter, at the Dan Salem on Facebook. Talking New York Jets. It is the first week of the new 2016 area. Starters did not participate in very close football games. If you want to read the tea leaves there, losing a very close preseason game probably means we win it in the regular season because we have our full slew of starters in there and we shut the door on the opposition. That's just me as a Jets fan rooting for my boys, the Jets. On Facebook, I apologize, you can't see my bevy of Jets merchandise, but join me on YouTube for a wider screen and a lot more New York Jets in your eyeballs. So, other notes from Thursday. Oh, my t-shirt fell down. We shall fix that for those on YouTube. Love that shirt. Thank you, Mandy Mellon. Okay, so a couple key takeaways. There actually was things to mention from Thursday's football game. Bryce Petty got injured. For those who should already know, our presumptive third-string quarterback, he hurt his shoulder. It is not swirling circumstances. And since Petty, we drafted him last season, we'd like him to develop into a true number 2, maybe even a number 1 quarterback by the end of the year. But I'm kind of setting my sights on the number 2 for him. He just hasn't shown enough progression yet for me to think he can be a number 1 quarterback. On that front, Petty hurt his shoulder, and Hackenberg just did not play particularly well at all. He's making a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of rookie mistakes. And you know what? As a Jets fan, I am thrilled that our rookie quarterback is making those mistakes in the preseason. Too often over the last forever, our rookie quarterbacks have made those mistakes during games that counted in the regular season. No. Preseason, that's wonderful. But because Hackenberg has showed slow progress, our coach Todd Bowles has dubbed this a red shirt year for Mr. Hackenberg. And honestly, it's because he's the 4th-string quarterback. Easy pick six interceptions he was throwing during the preseason. But he also threw a couple nice touchdowns. Oh man, that one touchdown Petty threw to Robbie Anderson was Kyrie Robinson, our 3rd-string running back, re-injuring himself in the preseason. It's such a shame. He hurt himself at the end of last year and got really banged up. That's why the Jets signed him, because no one wanted him because he was coming off the injury. He looked like showing promise. He played well. Re-hurt himself. Jets cut him. That's just the way it goes. He's the 3rd stringer. So they brought in another guy at running back. It's the 3rd-string running back. I honestly can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. And I hope he never sees the field. Oh, it looks like a... Oh, no, we waived Dominique Williams at running back. And... Okay. Petty hurt. Robinson hurt. Cut. Hackenberg, so bad, having a redshirt year. So the Jets, up until just about an hour ago, were still trying to finalize their roster. They had been bringing in some players. Guys not clearing the physicals, so dumping the players. We actually had one extra roster spot. After all this hullabaloo about 4 quarterbacks and who are we going to keep, we had an extra roster spot. Well, lo and behold, I am thrilled to let you all know that the Jets have re-signed safety Antonio Allen. He was cut by the Texans, their loss, our gain. And as you know, McCagnon, our GM, Antonio Allen was with the Jets from 2012 through 2014. He adds very nice veteran depth to our safety position. He will be playing behind Calvin Pryor and Marcus Gilchrist. And, just great veteran presence in the backfield. He's played with Darrelle Revis This is just excellent, excellent depth to the defense. I hope he sticks around, and this is a solid add that will carry through the season. I love bringing back old Jets to be new Jets again. I love veterans in the locker room. This is a veteran team, some rookies mixed in and some sophomore guys mixed in. The more veterans, the better. I am happy to see that Antonio Allen is filling our final roster spot. That being said, the reason there were some extra roster spots is because Jets cut a few guys that may or may not have been surprises to a few people. Not really a big surprise to me. Yeah, Amaro, our tight end, Jason Amaro, got the boot. He had been injured. He never really showed much progress. We have 2 great blocking tight ends already. And now, was this a comment? Can't tell. That's something else. Sorry, distracted by YouTube comments popping up on my screen. Amaro was supposed to be our pass-catching tight end. We have 2 great blocking tight ends already. They were both better than Amaro at blocking. Pass-catching tight end. Did not quite pull his weight in that department. Didn't show progress. Honestly, we hardly used the tight end last year, and if he wasn't going to really step up and show some flashes of greatness, he went out the door. I'm not sure if anyone else has picked him up yet. It's possible he could resurface on the practice squad, but honestly, I wish him well elsewhere because we are going to have an incredible defense. This is so exciting. And honestly, people are writing off our offense a little bit just because they haven't seen what Forte can do yet in this scheme. But, I mean, the offensive line's still there. Bengals still there. Freaking Patrick's still there. Wide receivers are still there. We put up a lot of points last year. We're going to shut them down on D. We're going to put up a lot of points again this season. Starting in Week 1 against the Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals. They are also 0-0 like our New York Jets. No one's played yet. Everyone's record is the same. Only point in the year we can say that, unless everyone wins Week 1 and everyone loses Week 2 and every single team is 1-1. That would be amazing. I don't think it's going to happen. But it would be pretty insane, except for the Jets, because then that means we lost a game, and that's not happening. So, the next game here will be against the Bengals. Take a moment. Make sure no one's got any questions. Nope. All right. So, we got the Bengals at home to open the season. I like this a lot. Cincinnati has been a trouble team. Not so great in the playoffs, but this is the regular season. This is the only game all year where we will have had many, many weeks to prepare. After the bye, you get 2 weeks to prepare your next opponent, technically. This week, you got a lot of time to prepare, and it's good that we start at home, and we need a home game here against Cincinnati. The Jets are really good opening the season at home. Cincinnati's a tough opponent, but honestly, our defense playing at home, they're on the road to kick things off. We got them. We got them. This is going to be a close game, but I don't really know much about Cincinnati's defense. I'm familiar with their offense, and that's going to be a solid matchup and a good challenge for our Jets, but we can definitely take it. We can shut them down in the passing and the running game on defense. I mean, if we have the defense we think we have, we're going to shut down Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati's defense, we will see how good they can be. Solid touchdown victory. It'll be nice. I don't think we're going to have like a coast is clear fourth quarter by any means. I think we'll head into the fourth quarter up 21-14 and win it 28-21, something around those, maybe a couple field goals instead, 28-24. It's going to be close. These are both really good teams, and these are both playoff teams in my humble opinion. But Week 1, with the Jets at home, we get the victory. Kick things off on the right note. That being said, from a fantasy perspective, I would avoid both teams, honestly, in this game. I got Matt Forte. I am starting him because we're at home. I think that the Jets can run on the Bengals. I'm not sure he's going to get in the end zone Week 1, but I really hope he does. I also have Eric Decker. I'm not sitting him either. So I'm not recommending sitting them, but if you have other options, maybe go for them, because especially if you got Bengals players. The Jets defense is going to shut down the Cincinnati team more or less. Like, I mean, they'll get some they'll get some points because they're good. But I've got Andy Dalton, and I'm benching him because the Jets secondary is just going to shut him down. I don't think they get their touchdowns there. Maybe they get them in the run game because we got Sheldon Richardson on the bench with a suspension for week 1, and it's just some new linebackers in the fray. They might get some good running going. But I trust the Jets defense from a fan's perspective to shut down Bengals offense, so I don't trust the Bengals offense. So I'm sitting my boy Andy Dalton. On the Jets side on offense, like I said, Cincinnati's defense could be good, could be bad. Is this the year they finally take a step back? They probably take a little step back. They can't be this good for this long forever, right? So I like Forte. I like Decker as the start. I would be hesitant with Brandon Marshall only because he was nursing an injury towards the end of the preseason. He's going to play. He's going to do well, but is he going to shine week 1? The only thing is that it's at home, so he's got a chance, but I actually think that if anything, he'll have lesser numbers than Decker, and the other, he'll probably still put up more than the third and fourth guys on Nunwa, and whoever really snatches that fourth wide receiver job for this first game. There's 3 guys competing for it, so I'm not sure who will get the reps to start the season. We'll see who separates themselves from the pack. With very little to go on except for my strong, solid, well-voiced opinions. Any questions from the live audiences on YouTube and on the Facebook? All right, what happened there? There we go. So, fantasy impact. What other notes do we've got here? I said no surprise there. Week 1 at home against the Bengals. Preview. Finalizing the roster. This is good stuff. Any other general New York sports-related Jets thoughts? Well, the Giants. Yeah, the Giants. I'll mention the Giants for a moment. They get to play the Dallas Cowboys. This was going to be a tough game for them. Now the Giants face a rookie quarterback. I like their chances. I mean, they got one of the Jets' best defenders from last season now on their defense. We're going to see if their retooled defense can really stick it to Dallas. I think Dallas is going to run all over them. I'm not so sure the passing game is going to be much anything. I like the Giants to win a close game here as well. It's a divisional matchup. Eli Manning, he's going to put up some good numbers. I don't know. I got their rookie, Sterling Shepard. Player of the week. What an August month he had. Aaron Judge, what a slew of strikeouts he's had. I can't believe how much he has struck out. But honestly, he's playing the field well. Give the guy a chance. He's just getting called up. He's now living in the shadow of his rookie brother in Sanchez, who's just mashing the shit out of the ball. So if they make the playoffs, wow, but it's been impressive. The Mets, they've really made a run here, but I don't know if they can overtake St. Louis. And they got Miami knocking on their doorstep as well as the Pirates. It's going to be tough for them. But both New York teams able to make the playoffs in baseball with 3-4 weeks left here of the regular season. Enough with the other New York teams because this is a Jets. Whoa, shit. Apologize. My Facebook Live feed collapsed on itself, which probably means it's time for me to wrap things up, huh? I will say goodbye on Facebook Live because I only have a few more thoughts. And if you really, really want to hear all of them, you can go over to YouTube. I'm at the Dan Salem on Twitter and on Facebook. Catch me next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. We will talk about Week 1 of the Jets. Preview Thursday night's game against the Buffalo Bills. Peace out, Facebook. I got a few more minutes here on YouTube. I lost my tripod. Apologize. Just collapsed on me. Just collapsed. See you later. All right, YouTube. You are the special someone who gets extra time with me today. Like I said, I will be back after the Jets' Week 1 victory at home against the Bengals to talk the whole game, fantasy perspective on the team, and we got a short turnaround. So I'll be here Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, right after Week 1 wraps up, because there's always 2 Monday night games, and we like to let them end before we recap the whole week of NFL action. And the Jets play Thursday against Buffalo, so they got a short week, and we will be right there to preview that football game. They go on the road to Buffalo. It's going to be a tough one. The Bills, Rex Ryan, always play the Jets tough. I mean, he just has a little extra something. I got a little extra something for him, if you know what I'm talking about. But they're not as good a football team this year, in my opinion. Yet, with Sammy Watkins and Tyrod Taylor, and honestly, Brian's defense, and that little extra something, it's going to be a tough game. I can't lie. Every game against Buffalo is a tough game. I just feel like our Jets are a better team. But week 2, you know, it's just that's a hard sell to say right now before we get any football done that they're not in it. The AFC East is really good top to bottom. I like Buffalo the least of the 4 teams. But it's going to be a hard game. So, final thoughts here before I wrap things up on the YouTubes for the day. The Jets have released linebacker Trevor Riley. He had a hamstring injury. These are players that were hoping to make the team, didn't quite cut it. They released their unofficial depth chart today. It's unofficial, so not much to talk about. I mentioned how Malden's got the start, and so does Jordan Jenkins. That's nice. It's very, very nice. Waived a few players because of injury. McClendon's got a farm where he works out football. That's a fun little story up on ESPN. What am I going to add? The football game is Sunday, the 11th, 10 a.m. Pacific. Oh my gosh, I love playing the games in the morning. I think I'll end my thoughts there. So, everyone on the East Coast, 1 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games. The Jets play mostly 1 o'clock football games. Out here on the West Coast, all those games are at 10 a.m. Now, initially, you may think, oh, that stinks, right? Absolutely not. I get to set my DVR and start that game at 11. That means I wake up, I have some breakfast, I tool around for a little bit, and then I start that game at 11, and I catch up by the end of the game and skip all the commercials, skip all the halftime, and I can still check my fantasy score updates because, I'm barely behind the action. Now, if I wanted truly live fantasy, sure, I'd have to start right at 10 a.m., but I'd rather skip those commercials, and then by halftime I can track my fantasy live, and I can track it through the afternoon. No commercials makes football infinitely better, and with a 10 a.m. start time out west here, it makes it really easy. If I had to wait till like 2 or 3 to skip the commercials, that'd be a pain in the butt. But since I only got to wait till like 11:30 in the morning, that's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I'm stoked for week 1. Jets, Bengals, Sunday. I am Dan Salem, at the Dan Salem on Twitter, at the Dan Salem on Facebook. Tweet me your love or your hate if you don't want to love me. I don't know, that'd be weird. At BuzzChomp on YouTube, at BuzzChomp with 3 Z's on Twitter. Send over love there too. I'll be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, wrapping up week 1 and previewing week 2, which is Thursday against Buffalo Bills. Ooh, rivalry. But I'm psyched for the Bengals. All right, baby. NFL season is kicking off. Have a good one.